Today we are going to kill our opponents with our bare hand. Well, hello there, random person on the internet, and while power creep hasn't gone far enough to give us a card to just straight up punch our opponent in the face yet, there is another way to beat them with our hand. Here are some cards that will probably confirm your suspicions in case you already know where I'm going with this. If you want them or anything else magic related, cardkingdom.com is your place to go. Check them out, link is in the description. Oh, and we're right in the game. On the draw with a handful of artifacts, looks like a keep. Opponent plays a Temple of Melody, scries to the top. Let's start off with a Witching Well, enters the battlefield, scries 2. We don't need another land, but this Springleaf Drum will make for a pretty sick next turn. Opponent on Abzan colors, Maya Trident enters the battlefield, mills 2 cards. Oh, looks like our opponent is bringing some spice as well. Play a Darksteel Citadel, which is an artifact, so this Emry costs only 1 blue mana. When she enters the battlefield, we mill 4 cards and we can tap her to cast an artifact from our graveyard. Not this turn though, because of Summoning Sickness, but what we can do is cast this Springleaf Drum, tap it and Emry to add a blue mana and cast this Moonsnare prototype as well. That's a pretty explosive start right here. Let's see what our opponent is up to. Stitcher Supplier enters the battlefield, mills 3, more Maya Tridents and a land. Abzan colors with these creatures really looks like they're going for mass reanimation, but we do play Graveyard Hate in this deck, so let's see if we can find it in time. Oh, well, what's this? I guess we put this here for later and stick to the artifact plan for now. Play Psy Master Thopterist. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a Thopter token, and for 2 mana and sacrificing 2 artifacts, we draw a card. Now we can tap Emry to choose an artifact from our graveyard to cast this turn. Use Moonsnare prototype to tap an artifact or creature to add mana. Create a Thopter. 6 artifacts on the battlefield, so this Thought Monitor costs only 1 blue mana because of affinity for artifacts. Let's use the drum and tap a Thopter to cast it. Create another Thopter. Enters the battlefield, draws 2 cards, and it keeps going. Tap Springleaf Drum and a Thopter to cast another Moonsnare prototype. Create a Thopter and pass the turn. Man, our opponent better bring some heat here because we'll just keep going off next turn. Fabled Passage, corrects it to gather planes, and Escape Shift sacrifices all their lands to search their library for that many land cards and put them on the battlefield. Whoa, a Phyrexian Tower and 3 more Fabled Passages. If they have Splendid Reclamation next turn to put all the lands from their graveyard to the battlefield, it's gonna get gnarly real quick. They have 6 lands in the graveyard already, and this Gitrog monster is either scary or very scary, depending on if they also have Under Ramblage. That being said, if we can find a way to exile their graveyard, none of this matters. Activate Emry so we can play the Thought Monitor from our graveyard, cast a Mox Amber, create a Thopter, use the Mox to cast the Monitor, another Thopter, draw 2 lands. Okay, let's play an island and probably confuse our opponent with this one. Triskai Deckerfile, Magic's version of the Count, if the Count was collecting chopped off hands. And instead of a vampire, it's a cracked out looking crazy lady. But both love counting some numbers, although the Triskai Deckerfile is kinda laying it on thick here with the presentation. You might say, it's getting a bit out of hand. Yikes. She's a 2 mana 1/3 that makes us have no maximum hand size, and at the beginning of our upkeep, if we have exactly 13 cards in hand, we win the game. It also draws a card for 4 mana, but we have a way faster way to get there in this deck. Let's swing in with the boys, keep up Otawara as interaction and pass the turn. Opponent cracks their Fabled Passages to get 3 basics, uses Phyrexian Tower to sacrifice the supplier, adds 2 mana, mills 3 cards. There's the Under Ramblage, so they have the combo in the graveyard, place a land, and there's the Splendid Reclamation, returns all lands from their graveyard to the battlefield, and they scry to the top, so we are probably in for a wild ride next turn. In their end step, let's activate Side, sacrifice Thought Monitor so we can recast it with Emry next turn, draw another land, well, sacrifice Witching Well to draw 2 cards. Oh my! Well, the cat's out of the bag, I guess. If they don't kill us next turn, we will win next upkeep. Let's try to find some graveyard hate to stop them. Cast Thought Monitor from the graveyard. Oh, well, And we actually get it. Let's play an island and Tormod script, create another Thopter, pass the turn, see if we're dead. Cavalier of Thorns, that doesn't kill us. Enters the battlefield, reveals the top 5 cards of their library. Ooh, that Eerie Ultimatum would be sick. Good thing it's in the graveyard. Oh, never mind, they got another one. Okay, so you ready for the riskiest play in history? Eerie Ultimatum will return any number of permanents with different names from their graveyard to the battlefield, which will get them the Gitrog Underrealm Lich combo. The Gitrog monster will draw a card whenever one or more land cards are put into their graveyard from anywhere. And whenever they draw a card, Underrealm Lich says, if you would draw a card, instead look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put 1 in your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So as long as they find a land in the top 3 cards of their library to put in the graveyard with this effect, they will keep triggering the Gitrog monster and go through their entire deck until every card is either in their hand or their graveyard. Since the ability of the Lich is a replacement effect, they won't lose the game from drawing a card from an empty library. Now, here's the problem. Thassa's Oracle is banned in Historic, and the replacement effect makes it so Jace can't win the game either. So I'm actually not sure what their end goal will be here. We could just prevent all of this by exiling their graveyard with this Tormod script, or we can take the insanely risky line of letting them do their thing and wait for the right moment to bounce their Underrealm Lich with Otawara once their library is gone to cheese them out of the game. Man, I still can't believe I did this. Here we go. Everything enters the battlefield. Now every time they mill a land, they get a chance to chain off. And they miss right away. Nice, but they can just crack a Fable Passage to start the chain reaction again. There we go. I'd be shocked if they don't go through their entire deck this turn, to be honest. Ooh, and a Lotus Cobra. Now they add mana with every land entering the battlefield. Crack another passage, miss with the Gitrog, add a mana, another Cobra, crack another passage, get some triggers, add some mana, another Cobra, crack another passage, get some triggers, fail to find a basic land in their library, okay, plays a land, adds 3 mana, Splendid Reclamation again, yeah, we can't let them generate that much mana, exile their graveyard in response, ooh, well played, uses the Phyrexian Tower to sacrifice World Shaper, when it dies, they return all lands from their graveyard to the battlefield. I think it's time to fast forward these triggers, adds 36 mana. Now we exile their graveyards. Maya Trident enters the battlefield, mills 2, explore, get some triggers, Vorinclex, sure, another Eerie Ultimatum, sure. We are on our last fuse here and we need to cast a spell in their end step, so let's resolve all the triggers here. They get some mana, mill some cards, wait, no, this is the moment. Ooh, yeah, that's awkward. So that was the trigger where we had to bounce the Underrealm Lich in response to win the game on the spot. Yeah, that kinda sucks, but so far we're not dead. Is their plan just to outvalue us with the combo and then bank on keeping the Underrealm Lich to prevent them from dying? Sandworm Convergence, sure, that doesn't kill us. Stitcher Supplier, World Shaper? Yeah, none of that is relevant. Another Underrealm Lich, another Explorer. Damn, if they didn't play the second Lich here, we would have gotten them after all. And they just passed the turn. Oh my god, we got away with it. End of turn, cast Paradoxical Outcome. Return any number of target non-land, non-token permanents you control to their owner's hand. Draw a card for each card returned to your hand this way. Since we have 5 cards in hand, if we bounce 1, 2, 3, 4 permanents, we will draw 4 extra cards and end up with exactly 13 cards in hand, and that's how you win the game with your bare hand size. Now, is this a one-trick pony gimmick deck that easily gets killed with interaction or aggro? Yes. Anyways. Bonus game. Yo, this hand is as explosive as it gets, and we're on the play. Well, play a land, cast Springleaf Drum, cast an Ornithopter, tap it with the drum, cast Emry, mill 4, pass the turn, no, that's a pretty good turn 1, Forests, Llanowar Elves, redraw an island, play it, activate Emry to cast Mox Ember from our graveyard, Triska Deckerfile, pass the turn, Forest, Elvish Mystic, passes back, we play Mycosynth Gardens, use Emry to cast another Omnithopter from the yard, Moonsnare Prototype, pass back, we're kinda running out of gas here, Questing Beast, yeah, I'm not reading all of that. Swings for 4, end of turn, activate Triska Deckerfile to draw a card. Oh, And there it is. Well, play Tormod script, pass the turn. They play Return of the Wild Speaker to draw 4, play a land, swing for 4. Well, end of turn. Bounce 6 permanents, draw 6 cards. 13 cards in hand, and that's GG. Now let's rewind to turn 3 here. If we would have drawn Paradoxical Outcome instead of the prototype, we could have played the Crypt and the Ornithopter from the graveyard, not make our land drop, bounce everything except for the Triskaidekaphile, and won the next upkeep, which should be the fastest way to pull this off on Arena, right? If you can think of anything faster than that, let me know in the comments. Check out the last episode where we cast both entire libraries at once. Remember to tap that like button, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.